Hello everybody, and welcome to the City Skylines series. Wanted to do something a bit different than what I'm used to, so I decided to try designing a Japanese-inspired city, particularly in the Hokkaido region. We'll start off with a few smaller projects so we can get a feel for the style and the region, stuff like that. Then we'll move on to the city itself and hopefully progress from there. So, we'll jump right in and get started. I have the first project we'll be working on is just a small little valley town. We'll end up putting a resort, a little hotel, not little, pretty decently sized hotel in the area, and that'll be our second project. But for now, let's start off with this time lapse. Alright, we're going off the cuff here with this time lapse. I didn't include the whole footage of me kind of really just laying out the whole town. I started that before I started working on the episode, because I haven't experimented with a lot of these Japanese style assets yet, and there's a few mods I had downloaded that I've never used or given thought to. So I wanted to kind of work with those a little bit. So the basic foundation of the town was already laid out. It's basically one side of the river. It's just one road going through with a few service stations and commercial and residential buildings along the strip. And then it crosses, there's a bridge that crosses the river, and then there's a school, a soccer stadium, and a few other things. But I just, there needed to be more sort of it was lacking, let's just say, detail, because I can't think of what else to say about it. It lacked detail, and I decided alright, I'll include that in the first episode, along with just explaining how I'm going to get started with this series and things like that. It's not going to be a super in-depth episode. It's going to be pretty short. I just kind of want to introduce you to the region, introduce you to the channel, new channel. I've just now have been able to find time to have a little startup like this, so I can't wait to see where it goes. But yeah, Mr. Maison just has the best tree assets, and pretty much all the trees I use are by him. Just putting that out there, and I have been putting down a lot of those the large decals, and which are amazing. And I may or may not remove the Road United mod. It's just such a large file. It's how many megabytes is that file? It's ridiculous. And honestly, I don't know if I care too much about it and how dark the roads are. So yeah, we might remove that. I don't know. Let me know how you feel about that, if you have any opinions on the matter. If not, well, don't say anything. But yeah, I think, like I said, I left a lot out of the time lapse. It's just just a few basic things I wanted to just show, just so you get a good overview of my workflow and things like that. But after the time lapse, I'll kind of jump in, give you a little tour, explain more about what went down, a little bit more insight into the detail, talk about upcoming projects, and yeah, enjoy. Yeah, how we doing? Welcome back. So, got a little overview of what I've done so far. Like I said, it's just kind of a main strip on both sides, with a hotel and kind of a tourist complex down by the riverside, along with some more traditional style structures. So let's dive into it. I basically just recode everything. I found that easier with smaller areas, because then you can kind of control the detail a little bit more. Yeah, got a different feel going here. I've never like experimented with these like Japanese assets and things like that, so I'm having fun. I'm not gonna lie, having fun doing it. And obviously there's still gonna be things in English because it's a game, and you know, you can't be perfect, but you can be close to perfect, and that's what we're aiming for. Little residential structure right here. Yeah. I tried to only in the theme editor, like only select kind of like low density houses that I thought would fit and be more Japanese in nature. So like that, probably not, but you know, it is what it is. I can go back in there and mess with that, but I'm experimenting with the eye candy mod, and I like what it does, and the kind of like how it makes everything look, but it just makes it adds a bit more lag. Like the frame rate drops a little bit with it, and I don't like that, so I might get rid of it and only use it for like cinematics. If you guys don't mind, just a little bit of a quality degradation when we're like actually in game. I don't think that'll be too much of an issue. And these roads won't disappear. I don't know. I switched it to vanilla, just hopefully to take down some of the mod size, but you know, it's still there, so I'll have to fiddle with that. But yeah, so obviously, as you can see, I kind of want the region to be in its like autumn seasonal phase. Yeah, the region's kind of known for that, so I thought that would look really cool. And this is just kind of like a public parking area, little bus drop off I have too. Yeah, and here's like the bus depot. It looks funny because I used to have the normal bus station, and I just at the last second replaced the station with this like Japanese station, but I'll mess with that later because it's bothering me. And these like Stockholm carports I like a lot too. Suck those in there. And some of this stuff I need to touch up. I honestly just threw it in at the last minute because got a tree in the road. I'll have to fix that. But here's like this like hotel area I kind of had going down by the riverside. I thought having like different variations in elevation and kind of carefully plopping things down, and like managing the elevation, just it adds more character and kind of like visual presence to it, and I like that. So like this is just like one big complex in my mind, and then it kind of gets down to the more traditional thing by the riverside. And this was just purely from my imagination. I wasn't referencing any particular like structures. Looks like the river's getting a little high, and I'll need to mess with that a little bit. But I like how high up it gets. Like it's like receding into the water, but it's a bit too high because our trees are getting finagled. But yeah, this eye candy is dropping my frame rate, and a few other things are dropping it. So I'll have to mess with that so you guys don't get bothered, because it bothers me, honestly. Like that shouldn't be happening. I don't know what the deal is, but yeah, this is basically like I pulled this I pulled the mountain out a little bit to kind of take up more. I'm gonna pull it up more because I want it to be right up against it. Like this is all they could build, like, and those are temporary, those wind turbines. This whole area, hopefully I'll be able to develop with something. So right here is what our next project. That's going to be our next like small project, small yet detailed. We're going to have like a hotel and like spa type like tourist thing right here, and it's going to be super detailed right up against the mountains, colorful trees, and I think it'll look great. We'll spend a whole episode on that as we'll kind of snake our way around until we get to the city. And I do like this interchange I made. It's not really an interchange, it just kind of hooks up these two national roads in just like this roundabout kind of way, pun intended. Yeah, but I had to fiddle with the elevation with the Move It tool, obviously super useful, but yeah, I think it turned out good. I want to have a lot of like careful gradients, and like, because you just see a lot of that in Japan, just like houses on basically ledges with like concrete like barriers holding it all together, and I just think that's really cool. It's taking advantage of limited space, which I think is neat and makes it unique. Yeah, so I won't take up too much of your time. I'm gonna kind of sort through some of these mods and see what needs to go, because I mean, it's not bad, it's just the frame rate, it's definitely like, I'm not used to the eye candy mod and some other things I have going, and honestly I don't really care about the Road United. Like, I don't really care, so we'll sort that out. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're intrigued and want to see what happens next. I mean, I'm excited. I have big plans, and I have a few things started over in the city, just kind of testing things out, and it's the imagination's it's starting to kick in. So I have quite a few things planned, and I'm excited, and I can't wait to just get the ball rolling with this series. So subscribe if you want to see more. Like it if you liked it. Well, dislike it if you didn't. I hope you liked it, but it is what it is. So thanks for watching. I'm going to leave you with a few cinematics I took. Alright, hope you enjoyed.
What, the sun and the flowers?